As head of the Cosmic Patrol, I, Douglas Visagi, have been asked many questions about my particular skills and abilities. You see, it's no small secret that I am not only one of the fastest beings in the entire cosmos, but that I use this to make sure the Cosmic Patrol is free of corruption. Should I get the slightest whiff of anything wrong, I personally volunteer to contact the corruptor and to bring an end to any abuses of power. Many would argue this itself is an abuse of power, though not authority. Rather, the sort of powers that one cannot simply arbitrate. How do you stop a man who can walk the cosmos faster than you can blink your eyes and come right back? How do you prevent a man like that from eradicating every major political leader across the entire cosmos and instituting himself as a dictator, simply for the sake of peace? It's an excellent question, and one I encourage people to always keep close in their hearts. Never once ask yourself what you would do in my position, but rather ask yourself why I do what I do in my position. You see, my mentor is a difficult man. Those who have interacted with him would realize his lack of social grace, and to a degree, his lack of consideration for the social structure. I personally have referred to him by many colorful terms, all of which I stand by, regardless of the sacrifices he has made for the greater good of the cosmos. This is why he is a poster child and nothing more. We don't allow him very many public speeches unless we can confirm he'll behave himself, and we leave him unchecked on missions because he tends to leave just as quickly as he arrived. He doesn't like the public light any more than we like him in the public light. And I'd be lying if I said that even with my immense talents and sense of skill and speed, I'd be lying if I said I wasn't afraid of going against him one day. There are certain factors that even my studied ways and practiced skills and immense speed simply cannot compensate for. But that's not what we're here for. I'm here to address the concerns of the cosmos at large. I have been head, or director of, at least, the Cosmic Patrol for as long as it's been founded. I have been doing all I can to police its corruption, and I do all I can to make sure corruption outside of it is dealt with in a way that is most beneficial to the average citizen of the cosmos at large. That we have some agreed upon cosmic moral code that allows us to behave in a reasonable manner. One that does not defy cultural expectations, but holds ourselves as an entire cosmos to a higher standard. But I have instilled fear. And I'd be lying if I said that wasn't intentional. Even the average citizen is afraid simply based on the rumors they've heard, and to a degree they're right to be. So, we come back to the question of, do I feel that I have the right to use these powers the way that I do? To answer that in part, I'll tell you one of the greatest lessons my mentor ever taught me. The first and greatest check on your power is yourself. Now it seems like a simple and easily corruptible principle, but ask yourself this question. Sincerely look at yourself and ask yourself this. If anybody was going to stop you from abusing your power, wouldn't the first step be you? Before you've even begun your first step, aren't you the one who is having the thoughts that lead you down this direction? And in that way, you are the first and most powerful check on your own behavior. You can prevent entire genocides simply by stopping yourself from doing so and recognizing your personal reasons why. Doesn't matter if it's an easy or difficult decision. Doesn't matter if the thought it didn't even come to you. By being the kind of person who refuses to exercise that mental thought, you have done a great good for the cosmos at large. And the same thing is true here. I cannot use my abilities without a sense of sacrifice, and there is a limit to how far I can push myself before I need to take some time for myself, or I will burn myself out. Not that I haven't done it anyway, but I do my best to be reasonable, as I've seen the end result of not taking care of your own mental and physical health. But the amount of times I have been tempted to eradicate countless people I view as heartless dictators who have done nothing wrong by our collective morality within the cosmos, as shaky as that concept currently is. I have very much considered certain actions and behaviors that, if done by anybody else in any other position, I would have to act against. And I have had to draw firm lines with myself and be honest. Why I'm doing it, though it is the purest of intentions, it's not the kind of person I want to be. It is not the kind of behavior I want to be acceptable in the world I shape. I am not saying that the various governments of the cosmos who believe they can manufacture some kind of countermeasure to my abilities are fools. In fact, many of them have no idea of this, but I have helped to accelerate the research for some of them. Saved them some time by sharing with them information other labs have already discovered. Frankly, the entire network of governments who think they're working in solo, while I'm sitting here passing information against their will between each other, is ridiculous. But all of this is on the understanding that I am the first one to stop me, and it needs to stay that way. There is nothing that I hate more than the power I have gained. I may have earned it, and it may have been a necessity, but I despise it. No one being should be this powerful. No one should be able to kill you, take everything you own, and shatter your legacy all before a single particle of light has been processed properly through your brain. It's completely an irrational amount of speed, and the amount of skills and talents and specific measures I have honed to absolute perfection in using this variability is ludicrous. It is absolutely beyond the rationale of any normal man. I understand why people fear it, and I despise it myself. So let me reassure you, Cosmos. I am more of a threat to myself than any countermeasure any government can form. And there is nobody that I am more careful in policing than myself. Every seeming abuse of power being something that I have to very carefully measure within my own heart and make sure that I'm not stepping too far out of what is necessary. There are many a dictator that would speak the same as I. There are many who would claim that they're policing themselves, but having seen what they do in private, I know better. What I do in private happens so quickly it is impossible for it to be even recorded, but if it could be, I would share with you. I would share with all of you. But if it makes you feel any better, there is one I fear. He is the figurehead. He is the poster child for the Cosmic Patrol. And well, he could do all kinds of things with that kind of information. Let me assure you, He is as scared of me as I am of him, and we both hate what we've become. So, fear not, Cosmos. You're in good hands.